Hey groupies, welcome back to Form of Therapy. I am PD, and today we're checking out Trauma by the 17 Hip Hop Team. I'm excited. This is the next release in the Before Alone series for 17. Before we get into 17 Project Chapter 2, we react to Change Up, and we're going to be reacting to the Hip Hop Team now. I'm excited for the Hip Hop Team because while yes, my bias is Chunghan, I am Chunghan trash, my favorite unit musically is Hip Hop Team. I like what Hip Hop Team doles out. I particularly like Fronting, If I. They're my favorites from their respective album. Well, If I would be my favorite, if not for My Eye. And My Eye more so, I like If I better as a song as opposed to My Eye, but I like My Eye the most because of the emotional weight it has and what it means for China Line. But regardless, 17 Hip Hop Team doles out some of my favorites. So I have pretty high expectations for this. I don't know exactly what to expect, and yet at the same time, I feel like it's gonna probably be, it's either going to be something like chill hop, or it's gonna be something that's more eclectic and dark, like the song that was on the Love and Letter repackaged album from the hip hop unit, maybe something like that. But let's just jump into this and talk about it later, all right? Okay, immediately, yeah, I see the vibe this is going for. Very minimalistic. It's that dark, eclectic sound I was talking about. Project Architecture, okay. I know they're called VM Project, but yeah, I figured it was them. MINGYU! MINGYU singing! Hey, what's going on? Oh, this song. Oh, that transition! Oh, fuck, that was beautiful. Okay, we'll touch on that later. I mean, already this is a very gorgeous design. I also like the lyrics of him saying boxed in, and they're in a literal box. A box set, sorry. Ooh. I love Vernon. Vernon's flow is my favorite in the Hip Hop Team. Oh my god. That transition is so beautiful. I gotta know if that's a digital transition or if that's a physical transition. Oh wow, this is very tame. This is very refrained for SEUNGCHEOL. Oh my god! MINGYU, what the fuck? MINGYU! Oh, hidden member of the vocal team. Holy shit. This set is actually absolutely gorgeous too. Okay. Oh my god. See, I feel like they haven't abused that transition yet, so I'm definitely not sick of it. I'm still impressed. WONWOO's set is very interesting. It's very hollowed out. It's very empty compared to the other member sets. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, I don't know about the other members, but WONWOO's Trauma is definitely a lot more mental afflicted than anyone else. Like, SEUNGCHEOL keeps talking about someone else, like you, and I don't, maybe it's a lover, like, because he is in a bed setting. And I feel like everyone has sort of their own different types of traumas. Also, that scene with, like, the, where he's walking on the rope, like, his tightrope walking, that was really cool. Oh my god, this is my favorite part. Oh my god, MINGYU, what the fuck? Oh, this is a gorgeous scene. I like how they poked holes on the roof and they're moving the spotlight back and forth, so it has this really cool swaying effect. Oh, that transition is beautiful. I love how they're wearing the same outfits, but the color of the obelisk is different, and they're in like a black void, and then it cuts to a white void. Well, technically the opposite. Oh, it's all the same set. It's all one. Okay, it's one long hallway set. So that definitely had to be a physical transition and not a digital transition. And if that's the case, holy shit, that is awesome. Okay, I am not disappointed. I am well fed by the hip hop team. I'm not a music producer, I'm a video producer, so I definitely focus more on visuals and the video production, but the song itself is definitely my style. This is the kind of hip hop music that I prefer to listen to. This is the type of sort of dark sound that I was looking for. I mean, Check In and their other hip hop songs are great and all, but I like this sort of more muted, sort of sad, bittersweet sound. Maybe that's just a personal taste of mine, but I like jamming to sad songs. There is something about being able to enjoy a sad song and get into it that is almost, I feel like, therapeutic. Diving into the song, we'll talk about the production in a little bit, but diving into the song, I feel like everyone's rapping about a different trauma. I think I heard hints of Vernon talking about how he dropped out of school, like middle school or something like that, and how he's alone. I assume that all the different rooms have to have some sort of symbolism to them. If you look at the symbolism for Vernon, he's talking about how he dropped out of school, how he's alone, but he's in a room filled with sand, and there are fans all around him, and I wonder if those fans are actually symbolic of carrots, us, the fans, and yet he still feels alone. SEUNGCHEOL is rapping about something along the lines of, he's talking about someone else. He's talking about you. He's talking about like I miss you, or I need you, something like that. And he has a bed setting, so I think his is more intimate. I think his is like either a lover leaving him, a breakup, or maybe even a friendship. I think WONWOO is definitely more about mental health. I think WONWOO is more about a mental trauma. I think at one point he says mind trauma or mental trauma, and I think it's more about the battle within. And I feel like his set was so much more emptier and so hollow, I feel like, to showcase sort of the empty void of his mind. And I feel like MINGYU delivered a general sort of explanation towards everyone's traumas. I think he was more talking about how the trauma, all these different traumas make them sick, how they go through, I don't know, depression, love loss, or whatever, and it's all their different forms of trauma. And if you noticed MINGYU scenes with all the ropes and stuff, which that can symbolize many things. The ropes could symbolize being tied down in a relationship, feel like you're being held back, or you feel like you can't move, you can't go anywhere, like you're almost trapped. And if you notice, his props, like his scene is the only one that has any crossover in any of the other scenes. Like the fans from Vernon's scene don't cross over into someone else's scene, and the bedroom doesn't cross over into someone else's scene. It's only the ropes. Like there are points where I think WONWOO and like MINGYU and HANSOL are like tied up, and like SEUNGCHEOL's walking on the ropes like a tightrope. And you know, I think that also symbolizes how we're always on the edge, and we're always trying to find a balance, and we can fall off at any time. Or maybe I'm reading too much into that one. But I feel like MINGYU is the one that sort of ties them all together. I think that is both symbolic in the video and musically, because MINGYU is the only one who doesn't rap. Now, I am thoroughly shocked by that. I always felt like, of the rappers, first of all, Vernon's definitely my favorite. I think he's got the most genuine swagger and flow to him that I think most K-pop rappers, I'm not saying all, so don't get mad about your favorites. I'm just saying most pale in comparison to Vernon's sort of authentic flow. I think then it's tied between SEUNGCHEOL and WONWOO, but I always felt like MINGYU was their weakest rapper. But obviously he's not the best singer in the world. He's no Seungwan or DK, but he fucking killed it. He killed it. And I'm not just saying, oh, for MINGYU he killed it. No, I think this song, he was perfect for it. Like I said, listen, Chunghan may be like my favorite, but I can admit that Chunghan is not the strongest vocalist in the vocal unit. When I say MINGYU is not the strongest singer, that's not an insult. It's just, it's fact. He's not Seungwan, he's not DK, and he's not in the vocal unit for a reason. But I think the imperfections with MINGYU's voice adds to this song. There is something about the sort of straining in MINGYU's voice. It sounds like his voice is like just about to go off key, but it doesn't. It's those little imperfections that make the song feel a lot more genuine and a lot more emotional and heartfelt. Because that's the thing, I think that's the most important thing, and 17 has a lot of this. For a group to succeed, one of the most important elements is to have unique voices. No offense, but I think a lot of K-pop groups out there, whether it's boy groups or girl groups, and I think it's especially true in girl groups, a lot of the singers are sort of generic, or it's easy to get like an A-Pink song confused with a Lovely song, unless you stan both of them really hard. But if you like never listen to any of them, it's really hard to tell who belongs to whom. I think it has to do with groups not finding their identity. I think 17 is very lucky because they have a lot of interesting vocalists. Chunghan does not sound like an ordinary vocalist. Woozi has an interesting voice. Hoshi has an interesting voice. And now apparently Mingyu just killed it. I can't get over it. Like, even though I never thought Mingyu was their strongest rapper, I always considered him a rapper, and I never even imagined him as a vocalist. I mean, with 울고 싶지 않아, you know, they sort of dabbled, and like that sort of broke my heart because I was like, oh my god, who hurt you, Mingyu? But this one was worse. I mean worse in like a good way. I mean, like, this really broke my heart. It feels like Mingyu's crying out for help. Now, regarding the production, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Project Architecture. I know they're called VM Project. In fact, their company is called something else. I forget what their like actual company is called, but the dude's Instagram is VM Project, and I know they're not called Project Architecture, but I call them Project Architecture because I think it's cooler. But I always appreciate their music video aesthetics. They don't just do 17 stuff, they do other stuff as well, but they've done a lot of 17 music videos at this point now, and I really appreciate the artistry put into this music video. This music video, those transitions, first of all, were absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I wasn't sure if it was a digital or a physical transition. I mean, with technology nowadays, it's really easy to fake a digital transition with what they did. But looking at the end, it looks like they actually built a physical long hallway set, which cost effectively makes sense. And they could have just easily put in a slit where they can slide a false wall in and out. So I think that's exactly what they did, which would require a lot of coordination with like the camera punching in and just beautiful. This is yet another example of a very on the budget cheap music video that doesn't look cheap. 17 excels at this. People are like, how does 17 afford to keep putting out videos like this? When do they find the time? Honestly, from 17's perspective, the members, this is like a day shoot. They really didn't have to do much. A lot of this is a lot of set building. And that's the trick of filmmaking. It's to make the production seem larger than it actually is with what little you have. Okay, I say day shoot, it might be a 2-3 day shoot because I just realized there wasn't just the long hallway. There was the scenes where there was the infinity mirror. The infinity mirror effect was really, really cool. But that was also, they used very, very little of that. And it was one shot, it never changed. So that could not have taken long filming wise. But that was also cool because that was the only scene, I think, I could be wrong, but that was the only scene in which the members were wearing white. And they sort of look like patients, like trauma patients or mental health patients. And so I feel like when they're surrounded by multiple images of themselves, it has this harrowing effect that feels more like it's about mental issues. And then obviously there was the scene where it's just like a big blank space, both white and black, on top of the giant obelisks, which again, that couldn't have really taken long either. And really, so I think the focus here is the long hallway. Each were like really small boxed sets. And so that really saves a lot of money. And I think this is what I don't know if Project Architecture worked on Highlight, but I know they did 울고 싶지 않아, and I know they did Change Up. And Change Up especially was such a minimalistic music video. And this was a minimalistic music video. I think this one got a little bit more complicated with the ropes and stuff like that. But overall, they excel at creating small boxed sets and making it look more glamorous and make it look more high-end than it actually is. Well thought out set design was the basis for everything here. I think this music video, more than Change Up, was all about set design. It was all about the symbolism. I think Change Up, a lot of that was aesthetics, you know? I would say this is not aesthetics. I mean, this is aesthetic as fuck, but this is more about symbolism, and the previous thing was about aesthetics. So I think VM Project Architecture, just they fucking knocked it out of the park yet again. Overall, I love this. I love the hip hop team. I'm so annoyed that it's not gonna be on streaming sites. Obviously, I understand what they're doing. They're probably gonna include it with the entire album. I can't wait for these to finally come out so I can actually listen to them in my car. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. What did you think of Trauma by the 17 Hip Hop Team? Did you love it? Did it not live up to your expectations? Let me know in the comments below. Also, was this the unit that you were looking forward to the most, or have they yet to come? Let me know who you're looking forward to next. We only got the performance team and the vocal team, but let me know. And also, if you like this video, go ahead and hit like. It helps us out a lot. And if you're new here, why don't you go ahead and consider subscribing? You can see more videos like this in the future. And also, you can see more videos, more 17 reactions, anything. You can go ahead and click here to do that. And I'll see you guys next week for the next release. See ya.